Okay. How AI can read our scrambled inner thoughts. The regular blah blah blah. The woman didn't move apart from the rise and fall of her breathing, eyes fixed in concentration, hand clenched in a fist. So I'm gonna guess right off the rip she's in a coma. Words were forming on the screen in front of her, slowly piecing together into whole sentences she couldn't say out loud. Or oh, paralyzed. The 52-year-old woman had been paralyzed by a stroke 19 years earlier, leaving her unable to speak clearly. Here, however, her internal monologue was appearing before her eyes. The woman, that should say woman, the woman identified only as participant T16. Is she a Terminator? Like, wait, what? Man, so we okay, all right, you know what, T16 had been fitted with a tiny array of electrodes that was surgically inserted into a lobe at the front of her brain. Now computer powered by a form of artificial intelligence was decoding the signals produced by her neurons as she imagined saying words with the system translating them into text on a screen. She was taking part in a study at Stanford University in California, US, alongside three patients with the neurodegenerative disease amphi- oh, am, la- la, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS, to test a technique capable of translating thoughts into real-time text. Now, here's the thing. I forget the name of it, but the whole thing, what's it called? Damn, I don't remember the name of the one that they were producing. Musk, the retardo Musk, his company, the one that they had designed to kind of help with Alzheimer's and things like that. Essentially, yes, it should be able to functionally read the brain waves of an individual. To bring their thoughts to life is a very, very interesting sort of thing. And I think on a level, this all being true, I mean, clearly it can happen, but I think there's actual, like a very simplified way to explain why this could be true. Because even think about it. When you speak, when you speak, it's a funny situation to think how not just how it happens, but how quickly it happens. That your brain processed, like me speaking right now, everything that I've said, my brain's already processing and it's just coming out of my mouth. Like, it's insane. There is no lapse in the time unless you're trying to take a thought, which I do a lot. I take a thought to properly word it so that number one, it's very clear, well defined, more people can understand it. It's broken down to the simplest of its context. About the only time that we ever have those lapses is if we are in a deeper thought process while speaking, or if you have some kind of brain abnormality. Otherwise, speech just flows in this pattern that's absolutely crazy. You don't even feel like you're thinking about it. It's just coming out of your mouth, but you are thinking about the words you're about to say. And at the same time, if you've ever, I don't know how many people have done this, but if you're listening to something or you're listening to someone, this is a lot of people think, well, you're just anticipating what they're about to say, and you could be wrong. But actually, most of the time, it's not even anticipating. It's your brain just pre registering whatever it is that person is about to say because I don't even know how to explain it. It's that it makes sense that that would be the next word that the person says or the next string of words that the person says, but it's like your brain is processing it before you actually hear it. And when you hear it, it just comes together, and both your brain and your hearing, your ears and your hearing stem, all that shit, all just says confirmed. I don't know if you've ever done that. I used to do that even when I was a kid. I would be watching something on television, and it was like, am I like stupid little shit? Am I psychic? I know what they're gonna say before they say it. Like it's so strange. But that's also how I think it's easy for people to learn languages. If you have any kind of basis within a different language or anything like that, because you know, let me not go that far back, but if you have any kind of basis in a different language or anything like that, you can start kind of preemptively understand what a person's saying before they say it, and it processes in a way that by the time they say it, your brain's already converted it to whatever it needs to be converted to, unless you're just one of those people where it just makes sense because that language makes sense the way that your primary language, whatever that is, makes sense to you without having to translate it at all. It's such a crazy thing, but I believe that on some level, if a computer can read, like that's what's so interesting. We'll get back to the article, but it's literally supposedly reading the brain waves and turning said brain waves into actual text on a screen, which then screams, what is your actual thought process? What is your brain actually doing at that point in time before these words come out of your mouth? It's not just putting them together. There's a visualization that's readily available there. And now all of a sudden, this chip is able to do it. But then you got to think about Stephen Hawking. How about that? Computer was talking for his asses, like, his whole adult life. So, yeah, 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 yeah. Some absolute manly man or womanly woman gave me a sub for a month last time I was here. Be behind in an alley. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Uh, it was the closest scientists had come yet to a form of mind reading. The researchers unveiled their success in August 2025. A few months later, researchers in Japan revealed a mind captioning technique capable of generating detailed, accurate descriptions of what a person is seeing or picturing in their mind. It combined three different AI tools with non invasive brain scans to translate a person's brain activity. So that's what it is. It's just taking the brain activity and forming a picture. There have been so many movies like that, over the years. There was one that came out recently that was like that, in fact. And I remember watching, I was just like, it's crazy that this is exactly where we're heading to. They were taking people's, like, their thoughts, and because, sometimes people have a problem with actually expressing in detail a picture that they have in their head. They were just taking the thoughts and actually displaying it on, like, whatever the company was, I don't remember, but they were displaying it in full fucking 4K for the individual to see and for everyone else around to see. And it's just like that's exactly what this is, mind captioning. The other thing is, this is where that question comes into play again. Is there truly a soul? Is the mind not the soul, or is there something else? If all of you, all of your memories, all of your, your functions, the functions that your mind actually has, because you formed a pattern over the years in your life. Your brain has formed a pattern in its thought processes, and even in your daily routines. You have to remember it is your brain, beyond muscle memory, it is your brain that is actually reminding your body how to do the things that it does. So if you captured all of that digitally and held it in a space and then transferred it to an inorganic being or a newly cloned organic being, are you anything special? Are you still you? When if you die and these things are still holding the ideas and essences of you and like your everyday life and re wow, this is disgusting as a thought right now. You're still alive in some capacity. That's where I was sitting back thinking, that's where the fuck we're headed right now. And all those questions arose. Yo, so what is it that truly makes you you? Both studies are the latest in a string of breakthroughs that are giving neuroscientists a new window into the inner workings of the human brain and providing opportunities to help people who are unable to communicate in other ways, bro. It is so great. Like my brain is literally reading this faster than I can put it out of my mouth. Like eventually, however, it could radically transform the way we all interact with the world around us and even with each other. In the next few years, we'll begin to see the technologies being commercialized and deployed at scale. How scary is that really? I need you all to think about this. How actually scary is that? Let's just say that someone took this, it's used at scale at some point. This is what technology is. And the problem with technology is that once you uncap that bottle, there's no way to fucking put that cap back on. The screws have now been stripped. The cork don't fit anymore. There's no plugging that hole up. You squeeze the toothpaste out, you're not getting it back in. That sort of situation. Once a new form of technology is unleashed, it's wraps. The poop is in the toilet. There's no getting it back up the butt. Pause. Crazy analogy, but you get the idea. That's just what it is. This shit is going to get taken way too far. Imagine someone getting a hold of this or hacking your whole entire being that has been captured, however it's going to be captured, on your personal PC, some random server, whatever the fuck, and then uploading that into some kind of bot. Nigga, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. It's a scary like it's I don't know. It's this is what's sad is that it's slightly an exciting thought, but it's scary as fuck to know just how incredibly and horribly wrong it can go. Okay, a neuroengineer who's been oh yeah, a neuroengineer who's been developing brain computer interfaces at ow, ow, neuroprosthetics laboratory. Hang on, hang on. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Oh, oh shit. Oh my god. Hold on. Fuck. Whoa. Okay. I made a move and a nerve decided that it wanted to get pinched up a little bit. No, 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 not even a cramp. No, no, no. I like almost fucked the nerve off right now. I'm not. Luckily, I adjusted just as quickly. Holy shit! Listen, I don't know if you've ever. I have like torn muscle before. I have like pinched nerves. I swear to you, if I didn't catch that right now, I'd probably be on the floor. I'd probably be on the fucking floor. They'd be hooking one of these goddamn things up to me, trying to get, trying to get my last moments of. Wow. Okay. All right. We're okay though. We're okay though. We're okay. All right. Anyway, several companies, including, yeah, there it is, Neuralink, are already seeking to produce commercial brain chips that will bring this technology out of the lab and into the real world. It's very exciting. Scientists have been working on devices capable of communicating directly with human brain, known as computer or BCIs. Yeah, for surprisingly a long time. 1969, American neuroscientist Everett Fetz demonstrated that monkeys could learn to move the needle of a meter with the activity of a single neuron in their brains if they were given a food pellet in return. In a more idiosyncratic experiment from the same period, of course, Spain, Spanish scientist Jose Delgado was able to remotely stimulate the brain of an enraged bull, causing it to halt mid-charge. Electricity is a huge part of our body. I mean, we have neurons just fired off all the fucking time, constantly. And yes, sending an electrical charge through anything, I don't give a fuck if it's a bull, is going to stop you. It fucks with the synapses of the brain. That electrical charge jolting throughout the rest of your body beyond causing potential muscle spasms, failure, organ damage, death, spinal fucking paralyzation. The primary thing that it affects, especially considering it's also connected to the spine, is the brain. The one place where electrical synapses are firing at a very high rate constantly. No shit, Delgado. Anyway, BCIs have been able to decode the brain signals that accompany movement so that the users can control prosthetic limb or cursor on a screen for decades. But BCIs that translate speech signals or other complex thoughts from the brain signals have been slower to evolve. A lot of early work was done on non-human primates, and obviously with monkeys, you cannot study speech. Facts. So that's why with this human being, seeing her words on a screen, if she taps twice or some shit like that, oh, nigga, she's paralyzed. I'm so sorry I did that. I'm so sorry I said that. Lord have mercy. I'm thinking maybe not the entirety of her body, but she is at least. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck like you can even. Here's the problem: if she's paralyzed, how are you receiving confirmation that what is on that screen is what her thoughts were in that moment? Maybe it was something personal, something like that. Maybe she was asked a question, a very personal question, hopefully, because you can't ask an open ended question or a question that isn't very, very personalized to the individual while dealing with an AI chip that's going to print out some form of response, because at that point in time, the AI could give any form of answer. But if it's something that's very personal to the individual, or you can get some form of confirmation from them, again, I don't know how the hell they're getting confirmation from her. She's fucking paralyzed. All right. I'm not saying it to be fucking funny, but it's just a fact. So if it was something very personal and that answer came across the screen and somebody in the room was like, nigga, what? How you know that? Like that's that's crazy. In recent years, however, the field has made impressive advancements in its efforts to decode the speech of people with impaired communication capabilities. For example, patients suffering from ALS resulting in paralysis or locked in syndrome. Stanford University researchers announced 2021, for example, a success proof of concept that allowed a quadriplegic man to produce English sentences by picturing himself drawing letters in the air with his hand. Using this method, he was able to write 18 words per minute. Can we direct? It's an advancement in it. 18 words a minute, nigga. Wow, no conversations. Can we directly decode the? Oh, anyway, natural human speech is about 150 words per minute. So the next stage was decoding words from the neural activity associated with the speech itself. In 2024, Wyra, I don't know, whatever that name is, lab trialed a technique that translated the attempted speech of 45-year-old man with ALS directly into text on a computer screen, achieving approximately 32 words per minute with 97.5% accuracy. This was the first demonstration of how speech BCIs could aid everyday communication. Okay, so listen, here's the thing. It can happen. It can obviously happen. Blinking is a verified way of communication for paralyzed people, I'm pretty sure. Yes, and I believe that that's also the case. Look, if she pissed me off, I'm no, 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 no. Hey, listen, what I said, you didn't have to go that far. You didn't have to say you was gonna hit Control Alt Delete. No, I'm just he said Alt F4. Even still, that's along the same lines. That's along the same lines. Yo, oh my God. No, I know blinking is, but the catch to it, even with that, it's like uh, I mean, I think yeah, you don't know. Here's the problem with it. Blinking is one of those situations you just do that in general. If you're paralyzed, I've never seen someone who like couldn't blink, whatever. But it's one of those things where what if they're just having a flutter of the eyes at that point in time, whatever, a muscle spasm of the eyes. So it's like I get it though. Blink once for yes, blink twice for no. If you're in danger, all that good stuff. I know that that's always been the case, and I thought about that as I was saying that. But then the other side of me was just like, nah. I couldn't trust just the motherfucker blinking in that situation. I couldn't because that is too much of a it's not even that it's a high risk situation. There's just something associated with the idea of this AI being able to produce what they're saying it's producing and how much of an impact it can make for good and of course the bad of it. But to get people's, hopes and dreams and everything else up up that high based on a blink, nigga, I can't do it. I can't do it. I've seen people play with their mouth, so I'm gonna think you can communicate that way too. Well, that's the thing. She can't speak. She can't speak, so there's no confirmation from her on that. Like this is ALS being locked in like that. No, no, no. You are literally trapped. That's why even at that point, the blinking to me doesn't register as a possible way because taking some of the most simple actions that I mean, don't even think about on the daily basis, being able to blink, you're trapped out of your own brain from following the direction as simple as blink, blink twice. You know, that's why, again, that also was not to me an option as far as the blinking goes. So but yeah, it's an interesting thing to see how far they're advancing with it, but then to know what the end outcome is, it's insane. And this is one of those other things I see the greed behind it as well. People like the evil ass Peter Thiel and so many other people on this planet, they need something like this. You know why? It allows them in their own sick, twisted mind, even if they are not alive to experience it in the way that they currently are experiencing it. It allows them to live forever, to have rule over things forever, to have their thumb on the button forever. And you may think that that's a crazy statement to say, and like no one thinks like that, but you would be dead fucking wrong to think that I'm wrong in what I just said. People want to already, like, they already get they want to have surgeries done, preventative maintenance type surgeries. They want enhancements done cybernetically, however you want to, call it, whatever you want to call it. The reality is the reality. They want to find ways to cheat death, to outrun death. And even though, again, it's not the consciousness of me, myself, of you, yourself, and of each and every single individual right now, knowing that you are, knowing that you are, knowing that you exist, that feeling of, well, I nerve damage in the hands, so it's like, but the feeling of, making a fist and the conscious awareness that I'm doing this at this point in time. If my clone were doing it over there, we don't have this connection. I don't know what the fuck it's doing. I don't know. It could be doing this. It could be beating its meat. I don't know. This is my consciousness. When I go, this goes with me. But for people like the ones I just explained, they don't give a fuck about that. That thing over there that's thumping its meat, to them, as long as that exists and it holds their ideas, can keep their money, everything else, it gets to live forever. So therefore, they believe they also are at that same time. That's the downside to some shit like this. It fucking disgusts me. But on the side of those individuals who are paralyzed, for those who are potentially in comas, this opens up a whole range of shit for like comatose individuals, because no one really understands what a coma really is, what's going on. The expression that people can give from being in one, shit, the expression that you can give from it is still, it makes no sense to anyone, not even you yourself. So to have something like this moving farther and farther along the way that it is, yo, I can't say it's all bad, but I can say it will be used for bad. I guarantee it. Everything is used for bad. That's just the way it is. Or greed. Greed. Anyway, yeah, good article. Good article, Case. I like that. But yeah, y'all can definitely let me know how what y'all think on it. Me personally, if a clone was beating this thing across the world on the sidewalk, I think I'd get the same rep. Nah, listen, that's the thing. This is that's exactly, if you are cloned, all right, and even more so, let's even take the, okay, let's say you're cloned, but then let's take the article for instance. Your brain waves. This again is why I said this will bring up that question of a soul, quote unquote, that a human supposedly has. This will bring that up again and again. If your brain can be taken and digitized in this way, and what's going to happen farther along in the future, they're going to find a way to actually take what is your brain If they can already neurally map it, you can show the thought processes on a screen. You can give a visual representation of what someone is visualizing at that point in time without them drawing it, writing it down, expressing it anyway. If that can happen, your brain will get mapped to the point to where it can be stored, period. Which means all of your daily actions, your routines, your thought processes, and everything else are now stored. None of none of that you that makes you know, like the pain that you feel when you do something stupid, you almost pinch a fucking nerve and fall on the ground. Like none of that is carried over. But in this new cloned you, they can have all of your same actions, but there's no other physical connection. Cyberpunk Relic IRL. See, I didn't go all the way through, but I'm gonna say I didn't go all the way through Cyberpunk, but I'm gonna say, yeah, it's all that you are without the you of it. That's how I would express it. And again, you can take that and not only put it into, let's say, it's gonna get to a point. Fuck it, let's just clone human beings as well. It's gonna get to that point. So if you can transfer that consciousness into that clone, let's say you don't go ahead and clone humans, you are building bots, AI robots that can definitely be downloaded into a robot. That's what the greed that like this will be functionally used for some of the most greedy individuals on this planet. And all I have to say is I need Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and a few other people to go ahead and drop off and be gone, be reset out of this world before this stuff comes into fruition fully, because I don't want the rest of humanity for all time to have those motherfuckers alive. There may be people that come afterward that are worse than them, but let me see them get the fuck out of here before this technology is brought to fruition. For real, for real. James Bond personality schizo style in my in my head. Yo, they don't even have James Bond personalities, bro. No, they are just schizo, and they are fucking crazy. Like literally, Peter Thiel it is the epitome of when you give a kid who got bullied and had no fucking friends power in life. I'm not kidding. Elon Musk is on that same level. The only thing with him is I can also add in there that he's not fucking smart. Everyone tries to draw that line. Oh, he's a brilliant. No, no. He was a fucking nepo baby who used his money to buy out other brilliant people's companies. He's nothing more than a hype man for the shit that's sold by his companies. It's that simple. But it's like when you put together this type of technology, when you put this out into the world, you have to understand that greed will absolutely be a part of it. Elon is losing a shit ton of money right now. I think you just saw someone say, well, here's the thing. No, no, no. It's not that he's losing a shit ton of money. It was money he didn't deserve in the first place. It was money that was coming off the backs of fucking, people that in the states who have 401ks and everything else. When they did that IPO, it opened at such a high amount. It's not that he's not a billionaire or he's ever going to suffer the idea of not being a billionaire. It's the fact that he's no longer a quote unquote trillionaire, because the stock prices actually dropped down to what I still say is not a reasonable level, but to a quote unquote reasonable level. So it took him out of the trillionaire status. People, I know a lot of people have put it out online to where it's like, oh, he's losing money, like he's bleeding, hemorrhaging, blah 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 blah. His companies don't fucking make money, but when you can use and abuse the government and bend the rules to suit you, you can be a very wealthy motherfucker. I mean, it's just facts. Listen, if y'all want to get rich, me saying this to you ain't even illegal. Do what you see them other motherfuckers do. Abuse the government. Like they sit there talk all that shit about, what is it? They're like, oh, there's so many people on welfare in America and blah blah blah. Nigga, you are the ultimate welfare case in America. Elon Musk is the ultimate fucking welfare case. You only have money because of the amount of stock that your company that you own within those companies, which hemorrhage actual money, but they have value because of government contracts now the world over. And your primary customer is the US government, who you haven't paid a fucking penny back to and never will, but it's made you filthy rich. I'm not kidding. It's not a joke. It's a fucking fact. He was a Nepo baby. I mean, his family had bread or whatever, but when it came to the money that he's made, that shit is government fucking welfare. Anyway, reasonable to his money status, I suppose. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's like a millionaire. When a millionaire says, okay, there's levels to this shit. When a billionaire says they're broke, nigga, what? When a millionaire says they're broke, still, nigga, what? They not broke. A millionaire means shit. I'm under the $1 million mark. I'm at like 895, 99, 99, 90, some shit like that. Or it could even be a thing like I only got a few hundred racks, left in my account. You got a few hundred racks left in your account, nigga. Like when an average everyday individual in the states, I would say when they say they broke, and I mean an average everyday motherfucker, niggas is broke. We talking about 15, $20 on the account for real. And it's been that way for the past 6 months to a year. Paycheck to paycheck. Nigga, tomorrow, I don't know if I'm eating lunch or not type shit. That's broke. Not I still got $250,000 in an IRA savings account, some other shit, or like a savings bond, or in my bank account, broke. That's just how millionaires and billionaires and when you in that tax bracket, being broke means a little bit something different. So yeah, so reasonable to his money status, I suppose. Anyway, all right, I think that's it. Good article again, Case. Yeah, for real, very good article. But time to go ahead and get some gaming on. I'm a try. I'm going to go ahead and try. It's only 120 right now. I'm going to try.